Hey guys, Tony's right. So this video is going to be about tough submission cycle, and I guess I don't know if I want to talk about that too much, because I've already detailed a lot of it like previous months, but it has been a tough submission cycle. I haven't gotten published since last year, literally last year, like last school year and last calendar year. And yeah, I don't know, I feel kind of bad about that because I wanted to get published every semester that I was in school, which means that would be at least 6 places that I got published. I've gotten published twice, and that's cool, but I want more. So there's that. And I think for me, being published is a validation of sorts, but also kind of in this writing space, being known is something that gets you out there. And I think it helps you build connections within the writing space. And I am debating how much of that I want, because part of the reason why publishing can feel so limiting in terms of your ability to earn money is because you're also dealing and selling to sometimes people who are within that space, and that can be really small, versus introducing people to your work that previously aren't available, into your work outside of your sphere, your world. That's a whole task on its own that you have to really work on, right? And introduce, of course you want the people introduced to your work to be readers, but there's something challenging about that when they're not readers or connected to publishing specifically, right? Publishing in specific journals and stuff like that. And so I'm thinking about kind of that kind of stuff. This is going to be a small little mini update. I'm now a poetry reader again for another magazine. And my internship site, the director for it was you should start putting this stuff on your resume. And it's I put this stuff on my resume, but the thing about my resume is that it has it has a split. It has 3 splits, actually. It has a split between my administrative stuff, it has a split between my healthcare kind of stuff, and it has a split between my publishing stuff. And it's 3 different sizes, and it's a CV now. It's not even a resume. I feel we should really let the resume die, and just the US should just do CV, because CV makes more sense than resume. A resume is they want it to be 1 page or 2 pages, and it's once you get over a certain age, you can't really start truncating all your experiences or condensing them down, right? The stuff that I've done, okay, let me go over my resume, the stuff that I've done, and I'm just going to do the publishing stuff. It's not that much, but just the stuff that's more related to that, or that sphere that leads into nonprofits, community organizing, stuff like that. Okay, so I've been a poetry reader. Once, twice, 3 times. I've been that 3 times. I've been a fiction reader once. I've been a book reviewer. I've did teacher's assistant for a class. Then I did my own workshop. I led my own workshop. Cool. So there's that. Then I was a grant reviewer for a organization. Then I have internship experiences at 2 sites. One was more social media, and that was god awful. That was a bad placement for me. We just were misaligned. And then the current placement is more arts administration, student ambassador, so dealing with that population. And then it gets into like more my admin stuff, which I work for a city agency and a state agency. But like, even when I like looked at my really, really old resume, I volunteered at a like natural like history society or something like that. I've been on an archaeological dig. I like volunteered and made an archival system for an internship. And this is like a decade of like this is a decade of work. And I can't like condense that down. Now there's these large gaps in there. And from the time I graduated in college, which was 2015, to now, I've been administrative, pharmacy tech, massage, back to administrative, and now kind of going into publishing kind of route. So I've had so many pivots, and it's like at some point, a resume, as it currently stands, this thing is 4 pages. Okay, this is 4 pages, and it has different sections. It has the educational experience part, volunteer work, and I used to volunteer and do transcriptions. And I just don't put all this stuff on here because it's just like, it's kind of like a weird space of like not knowing how it's going to be received. And I don't want to bloat my thing, but I will go back on my old resume and like pull that stuff up. It's just, I don't know, sometimes you lose sight of how far you've come, but then also it's like exhausting to add all that shit on there. And then when you do, you have to kind of like market yourself, but then it's like, how do you market yourself when you have so many phases of living? It's kind of ridiculousness. So yeah, I used to I used to organize music for a violist. I used to organize music, and that was like a random job I used to have. Like, I've had so many random like jobs and stuff like that. It's like crazy. Like, yeah. Like, I've been in like little like things all over the place, and it's just like, I think that helps me with different experiences, because it's just like, it's a Tuesday for me to like have like a totally different job next week. Like, I've had to like pivot, and I've had to change, and I've had to like think on my feet like a lot when it comes to jobs. And like, I could really talk about like pivoting and changing your shit. Like, if I added everything that I've done, this thing is going to be on 6 pages. I know it's going to be leaning towards 6 pages. Like, if I fully like fleshed out stuff, my interests and all the kind of stuff, like, yeah, it's going to, yeah. Because it's like 3.5 on that 4th page. And then if I start adding more stuff, like the other volunteer stuff I used to do, and really talk about it, yeah, it'll be close to 6 pages. So there's that. Yeah, so this is actually the space that I'm in right now too, is evaluating just where I am in general with a lot of things. So where am I in terms of my work? Where am I in terms of my submissions? Clearing up where I want to go and where I want to be. I sent some stuff off submission. I'm going to try again for this other place. I'm going to try again. But I put some of the things that I'm considering for thesis in my submission, just to see. And I'll edit my submissions and stuff like that. And for the final version, you know what I'm saying? But I just want to get feelers out there. And that way I can also garner buzz for, like, I have a whole strategy. And there's that. So that's kind of where I am with these things. But it's been a tough submission cycle, and it's kind of pissing me off. But, you know, we'll deal with it as we come to that bridge. I don't know, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Life is really just kind of getting there, kind of pissing me off sometimes. And I try to like stay positive, but yeah, I really do want my publishing to ramp up. I think it's more like I'm thinking about this because I really have to do this when I come back. Like, I literally have like a month to like really like write the rest of the stuff, edit it, come back, and then like be on the design shit and editing and getting feedback from the editorial like person for thesis 2, and then designing and publishing it and getting proofs, and like then we're graduating, and it's like 5 months basically. Like we come in February and we graduate in March, so the full of February, March, April, and then May. By May you're done, but so it's really 3 months, right? By May you're technically done. You're gonna read your book, you're gonna sell your book, and then like the third week in May you're graduating. That's crazy. Like that's crazy. That's crazy. So like it's kind of like a mini freak out a little bit. I'm just saying. So it's like stressful, and then I have personal stuff that I'm trying to deal with in the background. Stressful, very stressful. So yeah, that's about it. But yeah, updates. I am a poetry reader again, and they selected me. I submitted to be a cultural editor. I didn't get that, and then like another job, like a job. I didn't get it. But I've been applying to jobs. I applied to like 4 or 5 jobs over the break, and I'll continue to apply for them because I know, because I worked for the state before, and it took like a year for them to get back to me. And like I submitted stuff and they were like, yeah, you're good, like you're like qualified, you're on the list. And then the listing is supposed to end like next year, like the middle of next year for like some of these posts. And I'm like, what the fuck? So yeah. And I'm just like, girl, like what? So there's that. And I think that's about it. So I'm gonna look at, oh shit, I hate this because I don't do Google. I try not to do Google Docs for resumes because formatting on Google be like kind of weird. I like Word for that a little bit better. I do not have like Mac or anything like that, so I don't even know what the doc shit they do over there on that side. I just know that shit don't be compatible with everybody else. So yeah, okay. I think that's it. I'll update you as I like continue on my thesis journey and shit like that. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.